going to get into plan features, and the features of your product or the features of your plans are going to be the things that you can slot into either a small, medium, or large plan type. And what I like to see is pushing people towards the medium or the large plan, because you compound the value of the features that you've got in either of those tiers. So ideally, I'd love to have 70% of the customer base on the medium plan, and then 20% on the customer base on the large plan, and maybe 10 on the first plan, which might be either a one-off task or a really like broken down version of what it is that you do. So the reason that I'm screen sharing is I'm showing you there's a couple different ways to present this, and I'll give you a really simple method, which will be the last one that I show you. But it's a very simple pricing table, and on the left you'll stack up all of your plan features, and then on the right you'll have ticks and crosses as to whether they're included. So this Bench.co is a great example. These guys are technically a productized service. They've got a really solid kind of software layer as well, so like a tech-enabled service, and they do a great job of being able to articulate the value that they deliver to their customers. And so if you notice the language, and as you read through this page, there's a lot of focus on what the result is. Like, what is the outcome of the service? Like, what do I actually get? What's the deliverable? And this is a trap that we fall into when we think of features in plans, which is we focus more on like what is the task that we do versus what is the outcome that we get. And this is going to depend, like the appropriate framing is going to depend on the type of service that you provide. So for WP Curve, it was very much focused on, this is the number of tasks and this is the turnaround time. So it was focused on those kind of low level metrics. But for a more custom service like Bench, they talk about outcomes. So interactive financial statements, this is what you get: an income statement and a balance sheet. You get some visual reports. So this is the software layer, so you can have something nice and shiny. The end of the year, you get all of these different documents that you can kind of hang your hat on and know this is what I can expect. And then it's given to you in a Excel file. Then there's the team, who they are and what they do. Software, and then what it does. And so this is where it starts to get into a little bit of a lower level. We share, like, this is how we share your data. This is how you can categorize your stuff. Oops. And then here are like some of the extra benefits. And so this is language that's around, how it feels. So painless tax filing, catch-up bookkeeping, this language that they absolutely would have got from their customers. Security, again, lower level. This is how we do what we do, not really what you get. And so the reason that I'm showing you this is because the clarity that they have here, these are really the two things that you get working with this service: statements and visual reports. So you get the output and then you get a way to look at it, which is nice. And so I'll break it down to a lower level. So this is the WordPress premium support plan page, pricing page. And again, this is language from customers. I need help maintaining WordPress. We hear that all the time. And then move this down. Like, what are the big promises that we're making? Fix problems fast, manage administrative tasks, optimize performance. These are all like, this is language from customers and things that they care about. And so this pricing page or this plan page needed to conform to GoDaddy standards, and their goal is just to get someone to commit to a particular tier. So again, you can see with this pricing, you're kind of pushing the value up and across. So you get 5 times the value for only 2 times the price. And then you get 10 times the value for only 3 times the price. So notice this like patterning as far as plans go. And this naturally just drives people up because it's a selling point. You can say, hey, you get 10 times the amount of effort for only 3 times the price. Like, it becomes a no-brainer to sign up at that price. But then as far as the work that's being done, this is where it gets a little bit granular, and this is more of a technical product. So this is for folks that are running, that are engineers or running consultancies or whatever else. This is one way to look at it, which is to break down, if I can get this to open, break down in a menu the specific the high level things that you will do, and then the lower level tasks that you can complete. So this is really useful for, as I said, technical tasks where you need a really clear list of scope or a list of what it is that you'll do. And so these individual like high level elements get broken down into smaller and smaller and smaller pieces. Finally, the simplest and the most kind of the easiest way to frame this up is with a super basic pricing table, which is where you guys are going to start from. So looking at a feature list on the left-hand side, storage, episodes, import, website, statistics. These are outputs, these are results, these are things that customers can expect. They're basically like the promises, and these promises are going to be what forms up your price, your plan tiers. And so I would love for you to each have, a small, medium, large tier. Maybe when you actually go out to market, you only have a small and a large, or a medium and a large as far as pricing is concerned. But it helps you to think about, okay, if I've got, let's say, a list of 7 to 10 features in my product, what are they and how do I express that in language that is clear or concise or can be understood at a glance? So this language it's simple and it's very basic, simple and basic, but it tells you exactly what you're going to get. You're going to host my video podcast. You're going to automate my transcription. These kind of things are promises that you make to your customer, and then stacking a price up next to them makes it really easy for them to see, okay, maybe I'm in this sliver or maybe I'm in that sliver. One other thing that I like to do is to anchor, and we'll talk about the customer avatar, but anchor into the type of customer that you would like to serve. So for the lower level tiers, it's more of a starter tier. Like if you're just getting started, middle tier is usually around growth or getting going, and then the top tier is like a VIP or an enterprise or an express or a most valuable, like an MVP plan. And that's a fun way to think about how to stack up those benefits and how to stack up that value. But the goal is to drive people to the middle and the highest level of your plan tiers. So this is going to be different for everyone, and this is going to be something that you're going to need input on. So please tag me up in the comments, and we'll work from there.